Okay, number one tip to motivate a student. Let's change to motivation. We have a kid that just is like, ugh, right? Does not want to get off the stick, is having a hard time. And I'm going to start with you, Sarah, because you did mention initiation. So what's your number one tip to motivate a student?
It's kind of similar to what Keith said. It's breaking things down in really small chunks. And so, even something, maybe they're a college student and they have 2 hours or 3 hours of like religion reading, like even just having them do 10 minutes in a day and that's it. And then we build up over time. And as the confidence builds, then they become motivated. Like motivation really comes, I think, from confidence. It's not like the other way around.
But what I'm hearing you say is biting off the small chunks.
Really small.
It not only helps to build the motivation, it also helps them to build strength.
Yeah, and
Right? It's like endurance almost.
Stamina.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. That was what I was looking for. See, John, that was what I was looking for. Okay, so John, I'm going to segue to you. What's your number one?
I would say know your why. What's your end goal?
Ooh.
Right. So, that helps generate interest, activates the brain. And then I'll say it again, post it everywhere. Right. So it's all over, it's in front of you. So when you're losing motivation, when it's getting hard to start, you'll see your why there. And it can be just a simple message that makes sense to you that you wrote. And then it activates your brain to remember what your end goal is, why you're doing this.
So I want to clarify that. It's why are you doing this, or the end goal? Do you mean like?
It's the end goal. So
Okay.
If you have certain goals around, you have certain academic goals, athletic goals, music, whatever your jam is, right? What's your why? What's your goal? What's motivate? That provides the motivation.
So it's almost like what we call, it's called like thought travel. Like, how am I going to feel when? So that's like, I'm keeping my eye on how am I going to feel when I'm done with this too, right? Like, I'm going to get this goal accomplished. I'm going to feel really good. I'm not going to face the consequences that might be staring me down. All right, Key. Number one motivation.
Very similar to what you said is, helping them see the future benefit of following through and the consequence of not.
Okay. But how do you do that? Because I know they're going to ask me, meaning I'm pointing to this. They're going to ask me.
So it's asking questions, right? Like as a parent, it's asking the question. It's like, I don't want to do it. Okay. Well, if you don't do it, what will happen if you don't do it? If you do it, how are you going to feel? What's the benefit of getting it done? Just a lot of times I feel like students they get so overwhelmed and stuck in their head. And that if you can sometimes bring them back down to level and just asking questions like, what's going to happen if you don't do this? How's that going to impact your grades? How's that going to impact how you feel about yourself? All that type of stuff. Can
I challenge you?
Sure.
So what I'm doing right now is doing what they all do to me, meaning I give a webinar and these are the questions. And so I'm looking at all of you here. I'm answering you. Don't drop this in the chat because I know what you're asking. So you're saying that and the kid goes, I don't care. I don't care.
But you got to take it further then, right? When they say, I don't care, it's like, okay, well, you don't care. What do you want to achieve? Like, if you don't do this and you don't care and you get this bad grade, how is that going to impact you in the future? Like I think a lot of coaching, especially kids who are struggling academically or just need the academic support and have that, like John said, they don't have the growth mindset, they have the fixed mindset, right? If we don't come at them from me, I'm big on social emotional learning. That's my thing.
We're going to get there.
So, it's really asking them the questions and you have to help them understand. Also, asking them what's going to work for them. How do you make it collaborative, right? How do you, what's the consequence of this and what do you need to do to make it work? Like, if you don't want to do it this way, okay, but you understand if you don't do this, this is not a good consequence. How can we get to a good consequence in a way that you're comfortable with? And that could be many of the strategies that, Sarah just shared for sure.
I agree with you.